Okay, I want to show you how I cut out the windows in my CBEX 1 ship, model ship. These are a series for the bridge, and some more here on this sheet here. It's quite easy. This is made out of ABS. This is a sheet here. You can't really see where the markings are for the windows, so what I'm going to do is just highlight them with a little bit of water, a little bit of paint, black paint, just a squidgen, like that, and then just get a brush, just add a little bit there, and then just rub it over the surface, and hopefully paint goes down into the crack and we can just wipe it off. Toilet paper is quite good for this, as well as other things. Right, so now we can see the lines much more clearly. Next thing to do is to drill holes, a series of holes in each of the squares. So I'm just going to choose one here just to drill it for you. Show you what I'm doing. Now that pivoted round, so we just add a clamp there. These are really useful. This is a piece of plywood which is clamped again to the workbench like this. I've got various cutouts that enable me to work around the parts that I'm working on. The beauty of that is that when it gets damaged, you can easily replace it with another piece. Okay, a couple of holes there for this one. Next thing to do is to get one of these little craft knives. I do like these, prefer these to a scalpel, because there you can extend them. When they get a little bit blunt on the end, you can just snap it off and carry on. I also keep a bottle here which I've labelled sharps, and I've got a cap on it with a hole in it, and any sharp blades that I break off I stick in there so they don't end up cutting anybody's fingers. Everybody knows what it is. So we now cut down to join up the two holes like that. Next thing to do is take it off the board and then trim it out. What I do here is work to a corner like this, cutting away in the two directions until the piece falls out. Show you again on this side. Yeah, you can see the little piece there. Just pop that out with the knife, and so on. So you just work out to the corners. Just going to do a bit on the board. Be careful not to cut your fingers. I know you've got 10 of them, but there are a lot more knives in the shop than there are fingers on your hand. Okay, so we go nearly to the lines on the plastic, and then the next stage comes in, which is filing. I've got a series of warding files here. This is a half round one, a round one and a square one. Those are the only three you really need. I found the half round one is good for the longer sides, and just gently rub down. Be careful not to get the edge into the corner too much, because otherwise you get a groove there and you don't really want that. That's pretty much there on that side. Do the same on this side. Right, as you work towards the end, I use one of these. This is a headset. It's got a series of magnifying glasses. I generally use just this one, but there's another one that drops down behind that doubles up the magnification. And then this one drops down in front, and you can see really very fine stuff there. There are a couple of lights either side to help you work, but I've got plenty of light where I'm working, so I'm just going to put this on, and I can see just how close I am to the lines. When you get to my age, it's a pretty good idea to give your eyesight a bit of a boost with one of these things. It's bad enough getting old. Right, and then I use a square one now, because this is a rectangular hole. And just doesn't matter whether you take lots of very fine cuts like this, just light ones, or whether you take long steady cuts like that. You find whatever works for you. And then the same on the bottom. And if you want to be really precise, then the best thing to do is to measure it up with a caliper like this. This is an old, very old one. I've had this for 40 years. Not digital. The digital ones are better. I've got one of those as well somewhere, but funnily enough, being an old-fashioned engineer, I like to keep to the old style stuff. Right, just take away go to the other side and just take away the trim. Now, the side with the lines is the side that's going to be on the inside of the ship, because I've actually got a choice there of which side I use. Just seems a bit neater. On the other hand, if you want to use this side, it doesn't make a lot of difference. It's got a number on it, but I'm going to paint it anyway. And I'm then going to weather the surface with a weathering powder, which just gives it a bit of aging and makes it look far more realistic. Anyway, that's the end of this little tutorial. Before I finish, I'd like to just show you some new glue that I've just discovered. It's called Kostrufis Rapid Strong. It's for use on steel, aluminium, plastic, wood, cement, marble, polystyrene of all things, and mirrors. It's quick, it's flexible, there's no smell, and you can paint it afterwards. Now, I've just done some experiments because I don't want to risk it on this ship. This is the ship I'm building. It's underneath here. Let's lift this up. It's a 1.5 metre long Seabex with about 11 electric motors in it. It cost about £1,000 when my father bought it 20 years ago, so you can imagine it's some kit. Right, this is a couple of experiments here. I've just glued a couple of pieces of ABS together to see if it distorts or melts them. It's squishy, but only very, very slightly. There's absolutely no distortion on the back, as you can see, which is good. That's what I wanted to find out. I put this on here last night. Also glued some wood on there just to see how that worked out. And it's really, really good. Strong stuff. This is a piece here that I've glued on a piece of wood straight onto a piece of ABS. And again, you can see absolutely no distortion there. Perfect. And then this is using standard vinyl wood glue. And I've just glued some wood there together because this is something else I've got to do just to see how strong that is. And that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. So these are the two glues that I'm going to be using. It's Patak's Vinyl Legno, which means wood in Italian, Express, which is pretty quick drying. Very happy with the glue, very happy with the paint, and very happy with the little hole I've just cut. See you next time.